Ugh.
Say that shit.
Woof.
Wait, what? Cheers.
I'm fucking a jerk.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Again, if we've said this a number of times. If you are new here, welcome. If you are not, welcome back. We are a podcast that talks about some things that we want to learn more about. Should we ever find ourselves in a situation where we have to be intellectual? Should that day ever come? Otherwise, we just like to learn more and laugh and drink while we do it. So I am here with my co-host, Kendall.
Hey, honey.
Hi, honey. And I am Caitlin. And let's jump into today's episode.
Let's do it.
Okay. I'm going to start with the question. Here we go. Kendall. Nintendo or PlayStation?
Oh, God.
You're like making me pick between my children.
Fuck. I gotta say, I know there's like this like vintage thing happening across the board and everybody's just like loving their vintage shit. So everything like, and Nintendo. But when I got a PlayStation, that was the most like excited and like over the top ridiculous I was. My friend had one and my granddaddy had one, and I just thought they were the coolest fucking thing, and the games were so much better. And then they were like $400, like back in the day. So like it was like $1,000.
Oh yeah.
And we got one as a gift, and I lost it. So I'm gonna have to go with PlayStation, even though I circle back to Nintendo and play every now and then and have a great time.
I would completely agree with you. I'm not a huge gamer, but I pick PlayStation. Even though Nintendo has the whole Mario franchise, and I love Mario, like you say, that nostalgia kind of thing.
Yeah.
Love it. But I just think PlayStation has been coming out with really good story-driven games, and it's something Greg and I play together sometimes. Like The Last of Us was an amazing zombie infection kind of game. Did
you
ever
played
play
that?
Oh, it was good. It was good.
Damn,
Yeah.
I don't.
Did you?
I know I have an Xbox, which like, but now I'm on a bus, so like I really don't have anything. But I have it on the bus.
Yeah.
But no, I never, because that's one of the few ones that's only PlayStation.
Yeah. Yeah.
But is it good?
And it is so good. They're making a movie about it, actually. Because it's very, very good. There's we played the first one and the second one together. And as I say, I'm not a big gamer, so like I have to take the top of the top of like to keep my interest.
Right.
Also God of War was really good. Did you play that?
God of War. Fuck. I get that one in Gears of Metal, and
God of War was Greek mythology, like a guy who truly was like coming back from the dead to like kill all the like gods and stuff.
oh shit, no, I don't think I played that one.
Okay, also super fun. Very, very gory, but very cool.
But cool.
And then, like, I mean, other things like Assassin's Creed. I mean, all these things have really good stories behind them and good writers and stuff, and it makes just a really fun experience. So I would pick PlayStation, even though Nintendo is, like, a beautiful child. If forced to choose between them, I think I would pick PlayStation.
Sever the head of that baby, but not that baby.
Don't make me pick, but I will pick if I have to.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the drink before we dive into some video game stuff.
I'm excited.
Which is today's topic. So the drink is actually Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, cute.
Did you ever play that on
Yes.
Sega?
I played it on PC.
Oh, nice.
But my cousin had a Sega, so it may be the same.
So it's a shot, and it's really easy to make. It's just 1 part Grenadine, 2 parts Mentholmint schnapps, and 4 parts Blue Curacao.
Jesus.
So, yeah, it's supposed to be layered. So you get a tall shot glass, you pour the Grenadine in first, and then you gently, gently, gently add the schnapps and top it with the Blue Curacao. It'll look like Sonic, so it'll have the red shoes, like the white or clear, like, I don't know, legs, I guess. I don't know. And then the blue body on top.
Cute.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So this is going to be, I hope, a fun episode. It's just going to talk a little bit about the history of video games. Because even if you're not a huge gamer, this is an industry that, makes a ton of money. So if you're looking at investing in stuff, or you just want to know a little bit about the evolution of technology, whatever. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why you should at least have a fundamental understanding, I think, of video games.
Definitely.
Okay. Where it started. So it actually started, video games in general, started in research labs. There was this British professor guy who created a video game as part of his dissertation. And it was basically just a tic-tac-toe game. That was in like the 1950s. So,
wow.
Really, really beginning kind of time. Then 1962, there's a guy at MIT who invented Space War, which was a computer combat game on some kind of computer-ish device. It was called a programmed data processor. And that was at the time a super cool computer that like only universities had access to. Because again, it's the 1960s. People didn't have computers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let alone they didn't even have, VHS tapes or anything like that. So this Space War thing was the first video game that could be played on multiple computer installations, whatever that means. Like you could take it and put it in different computers, I guess.
Okay.
So at this point, it was just kind of, people were just looking at video games and they were like, let's just see what we can do. Like, I don't know, this seems kind of cool. Let's chase this. But soon after, it dawned on somebody that this could be a money-making system that people could buy.
Mm-hmm.
So in 1967, there was a company called Sanders Associates, and they invented a prototype multiplayer video game system that you could play on a television. Again, 1967.
Oh, wow.
I wouldn't have thought that early.
No, I don't know that I would have either.
No, not at all. And I mean, it's telling about their future, the fact that we're like, what? Because if you haven't heard of it today. But it was called the Brown Box. And there was a guy named Ralph Baer. He was the head of Sanders Associates. And he's called often the father of video games. He licensed this Brown Box thing to Magnavox, the TV company or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they renamed it the Odyssey and sold it to consumers in 1972, but it died out. Like it didn't catch on. People weren't ready for it, I guess.
That's strange.
So by 1972.
1972.
I know. And like really soon after, I mean, you're starting to get stuff. So who knows? There could have been a number of things. It could have been marketed like wrong because it's this new thing that nobody understands.
It's confusing.
I mean, it could have had kinks in it and just had a ton of problems with it. Who knows? Okay, so then shortly after that, Atari took the inspiration from one of the Odyssey's games, the Odyssey being the Brown Box, same thing. Brown Box and Odyssey is the same thing. It's just Magnavox renamed it. So Atari was like, this game on the Odyssey looks kind of cool that nobody's playing. So they decided to make a game that was really, really, really close to it. Called Pong.
Yes.
And Pong is the game with the two little sticks and the little ball in the middle.
Yes.
Yeah, so Atari made it with the intention of people being able to play it at home. Magnavox and Sanders Associates were like, fuck you very much, and sued Atari for copyright infringement.
Wow.
Even though they had their product bombed, they were like, excuse me?
Right. That's my product that bombed, but you made it.
Excuse me?
You sold it. Did they win?
Yeah, Atari was like, okay, sorry, you got us. And Atari settled with them, paying a license fee on Pong. So,
wow.
Magnavox got more than $100 million overall, not just from Atari, but overall on various lawsuits related to people and companies stealing the ideas of its 28 games that Brown Box had.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they made all their money. I mean, Magnavox made a shit ton of money, not on the product, but on suing people for copyright infringement.
Holy shit, boy. Because whenever you think of Pong, you think of Atari. You don't think of...
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. Because nobody had a fucking Odyssey, whatever that's called. Nobody had that. It died out
Right.
really quickly. But Magnavox, I don't know if Magnavox is still around today, but I certainly remember Magnavox as like a TV company or like a, that kind of a thing. So they were at least around when I was growing up, and that was probably in large part because of the lawsuits that funded them
Absolutely.
to stay in business.
Did you say that was in 72, 76?
That 72 was when the Odyssey sold it to consumers. But then like between 72 and 77 was around the time that Atari came out with a very similar product. So it was a very short turnaround that they were like, hey, this looks like a cool game. I think we're going to make it and sell it.
I got you. I'm sorry. I'm very far from my microphone right now, and I'm yelling because there's a fucking yellow jacket, and I'm allergic. But I'm looking up. So you said like 72 to 77. I'm looking up $100 million in that time just to get like an idea.
Yeah.
So 1 million was equal to what today would be 4.4 million. So
it would be $440 million equivalent.
$500 million for a video game.
For suing.
Because yours was shit.
Because you didn't make it different enough,
You didn't
man.
market
Guys,
it.
Atari.
Yeah. Wowza.
One job, guys. But yeah, but Atari was making money hand over fist, so they were like, nah, it's fine, it's fine.
Right,
Here,
right.
Take some money.
Right.
So here, we got extra. It's
We have
fine.
plenty.
They had to be so bitter. Magnavox and like Sanders Associates, whatever, they had to be so pissed. Anyway, so now it's 1977. Atari made the joystick version of the game console, and that's like what a lot of people think of when they think of Atari is the joystick version. This started the second generation of video games because it had cartridges, and for the first time too, it had multiple colors on the screen when you played it instead of like the black and white Pong that you think of.
Right.
So now fast forward to the 80s. You can imagine the explosion of video games that were just coming to market. You've got Space Invaders, that arcade game in 1978. You got Pac-Man that comes to the US from Japan. Nintendo makes Donkey Kong, which was the world's first intro to Mario. Mario was first in Donkey Kong before he had his own spin-off. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's the most successful spin-off in time.
Oh my God.
Ever. I don't know, maybe I'm making that up.
I believe that.
So actually, in 1983, I had no idea about this. Tell me if you did. In 1983, there was a video game crash in North America, like a market crash. I had no idea about
83?
1983.
No, I had no idea.
Yeah. So it was where the game market was saturated, and many products just sucked because they were trying to get it out to market really quickly.
Right. That makes sense.
That includes the E.T. game, which is really famously known as the worst video game ever made.
That doesn't seem like a stretch.
Oh no. I mean, like everyone agrees that it's the worst game ever made. I never played it, but I mean, if you look up anything about gamers, they're like, this is the worst one. There's that show on Netflix that even says that it's the worst game. It's like the games that made us or the toys that made us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm going to watch some, because you can get on YouTube and do watch your gameplay videos. I'm going to watch some E.T. gameplay. See what happens.
Yeah, for sure. So this, along with competition from actual computer games on the computer versus video games on the television, meant that just a lot of video and computer game companies went under. There was just, again, oversaturation. You think business, right? Everything is, and the products suck. So people just, didn't appreciate that. And there was a huge crash. So soon after that, Nintendo swooped in with better quality graphics, better colors and stuff, which got people interested again. So Nintendo started actually as a playing card company, like card games.
Wow.
But they recognized the value of jumping into the video game industry. So, I mean,
I didn't know
good
that.
decision.
Clearly.
But that was a good call.
Yeah.
Good call. So they made Super Mario Brothers, The Legend of Zelda, they made Metroid. And we're familiar with most of these, all of these, because a lot of them are still selling today. I mean, Jesus Christ. I have, for my child, bought Mario games, Zelda games, and she's beaten all of them. And she's 6.
Yeah.
So if that doesn't say, and that's a multi-generational thing. I mean, like, we played it. My brother, who's 14 years older than me, played it. Anyway. Just crazy selling brand.
And don't they do... I feel like whenever you open the Pokemon Go app on your phone, it says Nintendo. Do they own Pokemon? Is that their trading card thing? Surely not. You would know that. I would know that.
No, they don't, because I'm pretty sure they don't. But I'm not sure, because I remember when Pokemon Go started. Remember, the stocks went up, 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 up. They exploded up, and then really shortly after they tanked because it was just a trend.
Yeah.
But I feel like Nintendo wasn't the one that was affected by it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I could be wrong. Because, I mean, Nintendo's fucking huge. They wouldn't be hurt by anything.
No.
Too big to fail. Like, I mean, they got so many other things. But yeah, so then in 1989, Nintendo made Game Boy. Did you have a Game Boy?
I did. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I did too. Obsessed.
Color? Advanced?
I did.
DS?
But the first one I had was the big fat one that wasn't in color.
Oh, yeah? Like the OG?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. The OG. Ugh, it was so big. But, it was the best, especially like on long car rides. Because remember, I'm 100, so there'd been nothing like this before. It was just revolutionary. You couldn't take a computer game or any kind of game that wasn't like cards into the car with you until this time. Yeah. And it was insane. It was just insane.
A revolution.
It really was. And like, just never look up again. I'm just going to play my Game Boy until it dies. I need more batteries, Mom. Like, I can rig my... It just comes to mind. Nostalgia. Okay. So also in 1989, another company came along and was like, I'm going to punch Nintendo in the mouth and take his lunch money. Like, I think. I, again, paraphrase.
And Microsoft?
That company was... Sega. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Sega came to play, and they had better resolution gaming than Nintendo's at the time, and they had super clever marketing campaigns. So they were there. I mean, they were like shoving Nintendo over as a contender.
Wow.
Yeah. So then there were games that were available on both consoles, because they figured out pretty quickly, kind of like Mac and fucking Android or whatever, iPhone and Android or whatever. They figured out pretty quick, like, we can sell it to both, make a lot of money, rather than being exclusively on one console.
Right.
So some of those were Street Fighter. I had it. Did you have Street Fighter?
Yeah, I didn't, but I had a cousin who did. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was fun.
So fun. Yeah. And one of my favorite games was on both consoles, Mortal Kombat. Did you play Mortal Kombat?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
my God.
And it's, like, complicated. Yeah.
It's so good. I always, still to this day, whenever we play it, which is very rare, I'm always Scorpion because he's the fucking best. Greg is always Sub-Zero because he's wrong and can't be Scorpion, I guess. I don't know.
A little rivalry.
I love it. Scorpion's my boy. I love Scorpion.
Work.
He's so cool. He's like this dead guy, and he's got this like hook thing that comes out of his hand, and I'm like, baby, after my own heart. You're dead,
sexy
cold man.
daddy.
I love it.
Love that. Thank you.
Anyway, Mortal Kombat was so violent, though, when it came out, that it led to regulations for people to start labeling games for parents, so they knew what they were buying their kids. Because it was, and it's nothing
graphic.
like it is now. It's super graphic now, like gory, but it was pretty bad for, like, the little pixelated blood drips or whatever. Okay, so then computer technology got better, and so did the games. They moved to 3D games in the mid-90s, and also Sega went to CDs instead of cartridges, while Nintendo stayed with cartridges with the new N64. Did you have an N64?
That was the first one I had.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Awesome. So, meanwhile, there's this company, I don't know if you've heard of it, called Sony. just sliding into the picture like, ain't no thing.
Yeah.
I'm just here to hang out with you guys, not a threat or anything. But actually was kicking some ass and getting some good games. And it quickly dominated the market. Enter PlayStation. There's a song by a 90s one-hit wonder band called Eiffel 65. They're the ones that sing, I'm blue, da-ba-dee-da,
Oh, yeah.
die, right?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a song on that album that I had with my CD Walkman. And it was called like PlayStation, and it was the background music was the Mega Man theme. And then they would sing a song about playing PlayStation, and they'd be like PlayStation. Anyway,
Weird.
that is
really?
a fucking side note. Yeah,
Okay.
look it up. Look it up on Spotify or whatever. It's like the PlayStation song by Eiffel 65. It is stupid, but also you're like Mega Man. Woo!
Cute. Okay.
Like listening to the music. Anyway, okay. Fun fact: PlayStation is the best-selling game console of all time.
That seems right.
You said you had a PlayStation. You said you got a PlayStation as a gift. Was it the original PlayStation? Was it PlayStation 2?
It was a 2.
Okay.
I'm pretty
You're like
sure.
one generation behind me, it seems like, on a lot of
everything.
these. Well, because, again, with our ages, that makes sense, just chronologically speaking.
Yeah.
So I had an original PlayStation. I played that shit more than any of my other ones because I was in middle school time. So, man, I would go home and be like, bye, shut the door.
I don't want to talk to you.
Turn on my AOL Instant Messenger to the side in case people wanted to IM me, and then I was just playing my PlayStation.
Yes, that sounds like the good old days. Fuck.
Okay. Also, the PlayStation 2 figured out it could also play DVDs, like Sony figured it out.
That's right.
So then that went up against Sega's Dreamcast and Nintendo's GameCube and Microsoft's Xbox.
Yep.
And PlayStation 2 was just still like, fuck all of you. Like I'm, sprinting ahead of all of you and flipping them all the finger from behind. The poor Dreamcast figured out how to play online games as early as 1999, but it was a commercial flop. So there's a pattern here. Like there's this Brown Box / Odyssey that was the first like video games, but then they failed. But then other companies came in and swooped in and made it better.
Right.
Well, the same thing happened here. Nintendo. Sega Dreamcast was like, oh my God, we can play online with other players, which is revolutionary and a huge deal, but they didn't market it right. It was too soon, whatever. It flopped.
How weird.
Sega could have been carrying the online world if they had done a better job with the Dreamcast product.
And it's probably just marketing. Or I guess it could be product development. Like, I guess the product itself could have been shit, and then they, like, tweaked
That's right. That's right. It could be, you have, especially when you're creating something that's never been done before, you gotta walk audiences through what they're buying.
Literally.
Because if they're like, I don't know the fuck that is, and I'm not about to pay a lot of money for it.
Yeah. I remember that specifically about the iPhone. I remember holding my parents and me being like, I don't want an iPhone. It doesn't have any buttons. I don't know how to work it. That seems so stupid. And everyone being like, and this is like, by the time iPhone like fucking 3 came around, people were like, no, like, it's just a much better phone. And we were like, how?
Yeah.
And then you get it and you're like, oh.
Yeah, that's so true. Like, I'm good with my Nokia. And then it's like, wait.
Right. I don't want to touch
This is like a computer in my hand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I had a Razor at the time.
Oh, yeah, Razor. Ooh, you were top of the line. That's a good one. That's a good one for that time.
Yeah, it was. It was cool. I mean,
it was cool.
I don't know how
I think I had one too. I had a pink one.
Yes!
I had a pink Razor. Oh, God. Can you tell I was early 2000s? Like, Jesus Christ. Anyway, so now we're in Caitlin's early college days. So we're talking 2005. Okay. Xbox 360 came out.
Yes.
Remember that? It was white. It was like the first white one, and it was like a big deal.
It wasn't like so clunky.
Yep, it was so big and clunky. It was like the size of a computer, like a if you turned it sideways.
The first 360, I thought the first 360 was I thought the Xbox was this big black box, and then the Xbox 360 had like a little like curve in it.
I think you're right, but I mean the Xbox 360 that I got was in white with like neon green.
Yeah.
Colors.
Yeah.
As accents.
Yeah.
I was dating Greg at the time, and I went on eBay to buy one because it was so like coming out. It was just coming out, and it was really hard to get. So I went on eBay. I paid way too much money for it, like way too much money for being in college, like all my savings.
Oh shit!
And it turned out, because I was panicking and buying it on eBay so quickly, that it was one from Japan. So the remote was in Japanese and the setup was all in Japanese.
What?
And I was like, well, shit. I'm glad I bought this non-refundable, like fucking expensive thing that Greg can't even understand. So anyway, I clicked bid way too early without reading the fucking description. So obviously, but then Greg called Microsoft after I gifted it to him, and they were kind enough to walk him through how to convert it to English.
Cool.
So then it was functional.
No problem.
But the remote was still in Japanese. I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't listen.
Don't look at the symbols. Just it's red, green,
That's
blue.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like put some stickers on it. I don't know. Like put some English stuff. So, okay. Anyway, you've got Microsoft's Xbox 360, Sony's PlayStation 3, the Nintendo Wii, all out on the market now. So moving on.
Yeah.
The evolution, right? Remember the Wii?
Oh, yeah.
It was such a big deal for a minute, and now it's like not.
Yeah, the bowling, the tennis, the Wii board,
Of course.
Fit board.
Yeah.
My grandmother had one.
Absolutely. Really?
It was all the rave. Oh, yeah. Well, it was for the kids, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, cute. That's a cute like incentive to get grandkids over the house.
Yeah, she's like, I have all the new Wii technology, and it's like, we'll be right over.
If you want to play with my toys, you have to come and see me.
Exactly.
That's the only way it's happening.
Pretty
That's
genius.
a good idea.
Yeah.
Keep that in my pocket for when I'm a grandmother. Anyway, or mother even. Okay. Sony was now back in healthy competition with the others because the others were really killing it now. So the Xbox 360 was, the Nintendo Wii was. So it's not just like Sony was running ahead of them all anymore. You're talking now that they were kind of more of an even playing field. The PS3 could play Blu-rays.
Yes.
Something that hasn't really aged well. But, yeah. Because Blu-rays are dying out, but...
Yeah, they got it, yeah.
Yeah, they're not. It's all going digital now, so it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the Wii's graphics were not great, but they had the motion-sensitive remotes. So everybody was buying them up because it was this new way of gaming.
Yep.
Right?
That's right.
So then toward the end of the 2000s decade, so we're getting like 2009, 2010-ish, video games went into social media and onto smartphones. For example, in 2012, this is going to piss you off. In 2012, Rovio, the company that created Angry Birds, made $200 million in 2012 alone.
Good.
$200 million in 1 year. For Angry Birds.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is happening?
I have it on my phone. I still play it every now and then.
I have it on my phone too.
Yeah.
And I actually, I don't game a lot on my phone, but I hand it to my kid. So I'm like, here, play Angry Birds.
Do this. Remember that Veep episode? The Angry Birds, we invented.
Yeah, we invented the Angry Birds. And then like she gets like a plaque with like an Angry Bird on it. She's like, what is this?
What the hell is that?
What is this?
It's an Angry Bird.
Oh my God. So true. Okay. So now there was this one phase in video gaming that came in and then quickly died out. And you might remember it because it wasn't that long ago. It was where you would buy a figurine that would then be a character in the game.
Yeah.
It started with Skylanders Spyro's Adventures, which, by the way, I played Spyro a lot when on the original.
Yeah.
Spyro. Because it's a fun game. But then, remember, Disney was like, oh, hell yes. Like, we can sell the shit out of this.
Oh, yeah. And they still do
and they
today.
Created Disney Infinity. Remember that?
Yes.
Where you had to buy each separate character as a figurine.
Like a plastic toy that you would set on something.
Yes, exactly.
You had to buy a device to read the thing.
That's right. Yeah. And then so our family never got into it, but we would see them for sale like on the shelves at GameStop, just like shelves and shelves of like fucking obscure Disney characters that you could buy, but it didn't take off. So I mean, they made their money initially, but then like it didn't, because I think people were like, fuck that, I don't want all these tchotchkes in order to play video games.
Right.
I mean, that's me anyway. I don't want to clutter up my house with fucking toys.
This bullshit. Yeah.
Video. This bullshit. So, okay. Then next, after that, you've got Nintendo's Wii U, you've got the PS4, you've got the Xbox One, Xbone, and then the PS5 is coming out soon, I think.
It's
right?
out.
Yeah, it's out, but it's new.
Brand new.
Yeah, so, God, I'm sure it's like $1,200 or something. I don't know. I haven't looked yet.
Wait, is that right? Yeah, it's the PS. Yeah,
have
it's
to
the
look.
5. It's not the 4. The 4 has been out.
Don't tell anyone, but I have to look because there are birthdays coming up, and I have 2 very big gamers in my house.
Oh.
So that might be a good one. And
That'll be a good
it's
one.
far enough along. It's October.
Yeah, it should be
that
good.
Hopefully I don't have to pay, the full price to it. Anyway.
$17,000.
Who has that kind of money?
I don't think they're that bad. I think they're like $350.
Then they better play it every goddamn day. It's like, I'm turning into such an old, cranky lady. They better play it every goddamn day.
$1 a day for 400 days.
I better see, the cumulative hours on this fucking game to, in the hundreds for this to be worth it. Okay. Very healthy. Good mothering. Okay, moving on. Okay. So what's one of the things that's really important to note here is that over the last decade, the gaming industry has made bigger, more detailed, vastly more expensive products. Studios are continuing to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to produce games like Grand Theft Auto 5 and Destiny, and the profits for successful games are in the billions with a B.
Ugh.
That's crazy. Now, these games now, like Uncharted. Oh, I played that too. Did you ever play Uncharted? That's a fun one.
That's another PS only one.
Oh, that's right.
All the best ones are PS only.
That's a fun one. Although it's like you're mostly climbing. It's like, are we gonna play anything, or we're just gonna climb rocks all day? Anyway, and then so they say games like Uncharted or God of War now have scripts that are longer than movies, with many lasting between 15 and 20 hours.
What?
So the whole storyline.
Yeah, if you play the campaign, it's that long.
It's that long. If you play and listen to all the
oh my God,
scripts, because it's just this epic. It's just this really long story-driven thing, and that's what I think PlayStation does really well. Is they center it around a really good story. I mean, Assassin's Creed. We're gonna get to that in a second, but Assassin's Creed was made into a movie with Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, if Michael Fassbender is signing up to the movie script, it's a good fucking story.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Mm-hmm.
Yes. He doesn't just take anything, okay? He picks the good ones. And wherever he can not have a shirt on.
Right.
Okay. So, this is in huge part because the kids who grew up with video games still want to play as adults, which is why there's such a huge market for adult video games. If humans in general had a habit of outgrowing their video games as a human behavior, then the market would have remained focused on kids as their target audience, but that's just not the case. They grew up with these things, and the games grew up with them.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's interesting, I think. The future. So what's next for the future of gaming? The next big innovation appears to be virtual reality or VR gaming. Yeah. Which has actually been attempted before by companies like Nintendo, like I said, in 1999. The company released... that was a different one. The company released the Virtual Boy console in 1995, which was considered by most to be a flop. However, again, here we are. They have this stuff ahead of their time, and then it flops. Yeah. And then it comes back later, and people are like, oh, we're ready for it now. Bring it on.
Right. Yeah, that makes... Okay, so you're telling me Nintendo did something that was similar to VR?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
The Virtual Boy console in 1995. I'd never heard of it either. I mean, we certainly didn't own one, and my brother was a gamer when he was living in our house. We had the stuff.
We had all of it.
That was worth having.
Yeah, I feel you. I don't...
I don't know. We'll have to look it up and see what it's all about and, how good the graphics were and stuff.
Yeah. Because have you seen that there's a fucking TV ad where... And it's old at this point. I think it's Oculus. But you can play basically Guitar Hero with a lightsaber. And I'm like... That looks so fun.
Okay, come over.
You have one?
Because I have one because
No
my
way.
mom bought it for the whole family as like a Christmas gift or something. So we have one and it is fucking fun.
Is it?
It is so fun. It's Beat Saber. It's called Beat Saber.
Beat
It
Saber.
is so fun, Kendall. You can come over and play it.
Okay, on my way because literally for
I need
years.
to make a list of all the things that I need to show you when you come over here. Because that's one of them for sure.
For sure.
You need to put it on and play. It's so fun. And like, it's very immersive and the graphics are so good, actually. That's in my notes even. So I'm glad, again, we're doing it again. Like, we're very much on the same page. Okay, so with technology as good as it is now, it's likely going to be the age of VR next. That's going to be the next one that everybody's going to come out with, is to be expected. PlayStation will come out with one, etc. So, do you know who owns Oculus? You're not going to like this either, huh?
Facebook, I think.
Facebook. Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's fucking awesome, though. Like, it's so good. It's like Chick-fil-A. It's like Chick-fil-A.
Right.
It's like, I don't love who owns it, but it's so
But
fucking
it's so good.
Ah!
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna just wrap up with a couple things. I want to just list a couple of movies that have been made from video games because of how big of a franchise they were. There's only a couple, and I've mentioned most of them already. And then just some fun facts, and that's it.
Cool.
Okay, so we've got Super Mario Brothers, that movie. It was from the 90s, and it was some John Leguizamo and, God, what is his name?
Animated?
The guy from Roger Rabbit. What?
Animated?
Live action.
No way.
Oh, yeah. It's so goofy. It's so goofy. But I watched it when I was little. I'm very biased because I loved it when I was little.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And
I'll have to look up a trailer.
The little, like, Koopa Troopa guys. You should watch it. It's terrible, but in a good way.
Okay.
So there's Super Mario Brothers. That was actually the first movie ever made based on a video game.
On a video game. Wow.
Street Fighter.
Okay.
That was made into a movie. Mortal Kombat's multiple. There was just one that came out a minute ago.
Yeah.
We watched it like the day it came out because, again, it was the whole premise of the movie was Scorpion versus Sub-Zero. Greg's boy
No
versus my
way.
boy. And I was like, yeah.
Who won?
So
I go spoiler. Yeah, I know who won.
You know who won. Wink. Okay, Sonic the Hedgehog was made into movies and shows. Tomb Raider was a game. Right? Assassin's Creed, woof, Michael Fassbender. And The Last of Us is coming out, as I mentioned. So, I mean, that's just some of them. There's so
The
many.
Witcher is a Netflix series.
Is The Witcher based on a game?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I had no idea. I mean, I know all about it. I know his, like, Henry Cavill or whatever, but...
Yeah, he...
Okay.
I had it. And it's like one of the top-rated games... I'm going to get shit on here, but it's like one of the top-rated games.
Really?
And I played it, and it's very clunky to me.
What system is it on? Is it a computer game?
I think it's both. I think it's... it's Xbox, but I think that it's also PS...
Okay.
PS anything, I think.
Oh, well, listen to that. Fun fact.
And
okay.
Switch.
That's fun.
And Switch. I've seen it on Switch.
Oh, the Switch.
I have a Switch
Okay.
on the bus, and that's proven to be the most easy.
I'm sure. Because it's like a Game Boy. I mean, it's portable.
Yeah. Oh!
We have a Switch, too.
And do you might like this game. You mentioning Gods of War. There's a new game, and it was called Gods and Monsters, and they were advertising it, and it was like really, really cool looking.
I'm into it. I'm into the idea of it. I haven't seen it, but I'll look into it.
Well, Monster Energy Drink was like, we are too prominent in the gaming community. You have to change the name.
You're kidding
So they
me.
sued the fuck out of them.
Because people would be confused.
Right. Real shitty move. So now the game is like, it's called Immortals. It's right here. How down?
I would have done something so passive-aggressive to, like gods
Monster.
and energy of monsters.
Right,
Like,
exactly. Let's add a green M logo. This is it. Immortals Phoenix Rising. I'm showing the GoPro. I know you can't see it, but that's it. And it's really cool because it's not a spoof. it's just like a comical take on mythology, and you're playing a character that's dealing with two Zeus and somebody else, and they're just kind of a pretty flippant.
I love that
It's
idea.
cute.
Actually, you know that's a good game for me because I've got mythology on one of my topics to cover
Yeah.
in the future. So
You
that's going to be a
love that.
fun one. Thank you. I'm going to look into that.
Do.
Because Greg and I we like to pick just different games because, when you change up like date night or whatever, like sometimes you just don't want to like watch Netflix together. Like you want to do something different or something something more active together. So that's a fun one, is to play video games. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to look into that.
Do.
Okay, here we go. Fun facts. Per usual. This is how I like to close things. So here we go. I think you're going to like some of these, actually.
Cool.
Some of these are kind of cool. Okay. As of 2020, there were more gamers than ever, with an estimated 2.7 billion people.
Ooh.
They think the increase partly has to do with the pandemic because they were all stuck inside.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that. If they would have, like, everybody would have been on their shit and just, like, released a whole bunch of shit right as that hit. Because that's exactly what the fuck I did. I just played Zelda, or Link Awakening, whatever. Not Awakening, the other one. Zelda.
Breath of the Wild?
That one, yeah. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Fucking gorgeous.
Yeah. It is. My 6-year-old beat that game. She's
Good God, I didn't
else.
beat it.
She's something else. I'm telling you,
Fuck.
this kid, because she's got like a one-track mind once she's set on it. She's like
doing this.
Yeah, and I watch and I'm like, holy shit. Like sometimes I just film it and I'm like, do we need to like submit this to something? Like is she like a savant or something? But anyway, she gets it from her dad because I suck at video games. So yes, actually I don't play a lot of games, as I said, and I certainly not lately, but I've been playing Best Fiends on my phone.
I've heard of that. Do you love it?
I'm addicted to it. I don't know that I love it. Does anybody love their addiction? I don't know. But I play it so much. It's just like Candy Crush. It's just very simple and like connect the shapes or whatever. But it's so addictive. I don't know why.
Huh.
But I am ashamed. So proceed with caution.
Okay.
Because it's stupid and mindless, but it's just like calming, and I love it, and I'm obsessed.
Little
and I'm
therapy.
on like a level 105 right now.
Okay, shit.
Out of 5,000.
I've heard ads for it, and I'm like, it sounds like it's different, but...
They've done an amazing job with ads, because I don't know if you heard them on a lot of podcasts, but almost every podcast that I listen to has an ad for that. So whoever's on their marketing team is killing it.
Yeah, and we just did a free ad, so...
Yeah. We did. You're welcome. So, Best Fiends, if you want to promote us in return, we would not snub that. We would respect you if you wanted to share the wealth too, and promote us too. Okay, moving on, because they listen to this. Okay, so you may know that there are game competitions like esports that you can watch, right? Like on TV.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Video games.
Yeah.
Here we go. I did not know this, and this was crazy to me. The past several League of Legends championships have drawn more viewers than the Super Bowl or the NBA Finals.
Oh, shit.
More people are watching people play League of Legends in the championships than the Super Bowl or the NBA Finals.
Okay.
We are in a new generation, man.
I love that, and it's also because, this is my best guess, hot take, it's global.
Oh.
Nobody in another country gives a goddamned about
That's true.
the NFL. And they watch soccer. They play soccer. They don't play fucking football.
That's absolutely right. And they don't play... they play basketball in some countries,
do.
but you're right. Video games are universal, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Good point. I'm sure you're right. I'm sure that's exactly the reason.
But that's so cool.
It's nuts. I mean, and I imagine you could probably bet on it and stuff too. Like you could bet on sports.
Oh, hell yes.
So I'm sure a lot of people watch it for that reason too. Okay. Nodding back to adults playing video games, experts found that the average age of a gamer is 34.
Oh.
Average. So that means you figure the people who are in their 50s are the people who
70s.
grew up with it.
Yeah.
And then you've got I mean, my 6-year-old plays it better. She's better than I am. Like, truly, she will sit down and she'll be like, "Can you beat this boss for me?" And I'll try. And she goes, "Actually, no. Can you go get Dad?" I'm like, "Fuck you. I mean, I love you, but
I'm gonna go back to my checkpoint.
I know when I'm not wanted. Okay, we all have our strengths. Okay, not offended at all. Okay. As I said, next one. Mortal Kombat is one of my favorite video games to play. It was hugely successful, but interesting to know, it was developed only in 10 months with only 4 people.
What?
4 people made it in 10 months, Mortal Kombat.
How?
Just, they worked around the clock to hit the deadline.
Was that the first one?
Yeah.
How many characters did they have in the first one?
The first one. Oh, gosh. I mean, they had probably 12 or something.
Damn. Because I know now it's just like insane, isn't it? It's like fucking
dozens and dozens and dozens of characters. Yeah. But no, they had like a good 12 or around there, I'm sure. Because I remember being able to pick through
go through their
who
like,
I wanted to
qualities,
play.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Okay. Next, player reaction to a simulated disease in World of Warcraft so closely resembled records about real plagues and how people reacted to them that epidemiologists, those are disease experts, are currently using the data from World of Warcraft to evaluate how people would respond to a potential future virus outbreak.
What?
People are reacting to plagues in World of Warcraft. Humans are reacting to the plagues so closely to how they reacted to real plagues in terms of what decisions they make and whatever in the game.
Okay.
That they're studying it because they're like, well, this is how a person really would act, how they're acting in the game.
Is that what... I've never played that. Is it like... What is that?
It's an online game. It's an online computer game. Greg played it.
And there's there's like a plague in the game.
Apparently there is, but that's not the basis of the game at all. It's like mages and elves
Wizards
and whatever, and they all go out and fight the other team and like capture the flag kind of thing.
I got you. So like I just played
like League of Legends.
Yeah, StarCraft. I played StarCraft.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that.
But apparently,
there's a plague.
Just that side thing of the plague is how people were really reacting in these games. So there's the real disease experts are studying how people would hypothetically react to a real virus outbreak.
Right.
Maybe the next one. We'll catch the next one. But yeah.
Oh, God.
I thought that was cool that they're using video games to measure human behavior. Because human behavior is so predictive. Like they're comparing it, and it was so similar to how people actually acted according to like documents from like the real plague in medieval times. Okay. Next, Tom Hanks tried to play Mario in that Abomination movie that I love so much, Super Mario Brothers. Yes. But executives thought he wasn't famous enough at the time to carry the film. So whoops.
Oops.
he's probably happy that he didn't do it because it was kind of a shit show movie.
And now he's ultra.
I mean, now he's America's treasure.
Right.
But in our house, we don't say "No way, Jose" because that's racist. We say "No thanks, Tom Hanks."
Okay, I like that.
In this situation, we say "No thanks, Tom Hanks" because that's what the exec said. Okay. Playing action video games trains people to make right decisions faster. In fact, surgeons that play video games make 37% fewer errors and perform their tasks 27% faster than their peers.
Jeez.
That's nuts. Like, and I can speak to that. So, okay, Greg isn't a surgeon, but he's been playing those shooting games or whatever all the time. I think he plays, the fuck does he play now? Not Call of Duty.
Battlefield.
I don't know. He plays one of those on the computer with his friends, and it's online.
Okay.
Maybe it's Call of Duty. I don't remember. I don't pay attention. I'm over there watching my true crime when he's over there playing that, so I don't know. We get our different surges of violence in different ways.
Yeah.
Okay. So, anyway, he's not a surgeon, obviously, but his quick thinking is insanely good. Like, his reaction time is so much better. And I knew him when he was young, and I know him now. Like, I've seen him develop, and I bet it's from playing video games.
Yeah.
So one time, a pipe burst in our apartment, and I'm not kidding. It was like a fire hydrant broke inside of our house. Like it was surging water like horizontally. It was like just
Jeez.
not a little leak or anything. It was pouring. He was sleeping. He leapt to his feet and sprinted to the office, like the apartment office, before I was even out of bed. The distance was probably a football field away. Now, in fairness, I'm a freeze in a fight, flight, or freeze. So I was still in bed because I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, exactly. Huh?
I mean, I was stunned, and I was just sitting there like, what am I processing? What is this? Meanwhile, I'm just sitting there trying to comprehend it. By the time I managed to move myself, like minutes, like maybe 90 seconds or something, he had sprinted back, ran up 3 flights of stairs, and pulled the fire alarm and came back to the apartment.
Wow.
That was all within like a 2 minute to 3 minute span of time.
Dang.
And I believe wholeheartedly his gaming reflexes to trigger his action helped in that situation. Because, I mean, even if he was already a fight or, like a action-oriented person that's going to do something, it couldn't have, I don't believe it could have been that fast if he hasn't been, training for this his whole fucking life.
Yeah. Well, and like,
so,
to see numbers out of surgeons that are like 27% and 35%, like that's substantial. So I agree with you.
They make fewer mistakes and they're faster.
I totally agree with you.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just they're thinking those synapses in your brain speed up because you've been practicing and training them.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's what I got for video games.
Oh, how fun. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh,
good.
It makes me want to go play video games so bad right now.
I know. It's so fun. The nice thing about the Wii for a minute was that it let you buy all the classic games.
Yes.
So you could go back and buy all the nostalgic ones, but then it like dies and you're like, where am I going to get another Wii? I'm not buying another one.
Right. I don't even know if they make them anymore.
I don't know either. But who knows? Come over and you can play the Oculus.
I would love that.
You can tell me if you like it.
I would love that. Also, have you looked on... It comes with this Switch. You can like... If you like connect it to the internet or something, which takes some like stupid like $2 subscription or something, you can play. They have old classics from Nintendo on there, so you can find like Super Nintendo and Super Nintendo 2, I think is what it's called, or Nintendo and Super Nintendo. Look on there.
I'm gonna look into that
because you might recognize some of them. I did when I looked through it, and it's like true to form, like it's like that fucking game and
Is it a subscription? Is it like $2 a month or something to access the internet?
Yeah, it's like you have to get like Nintendo Online or something. I think. I'm pretty sure. But it's pretty cheap, and it's not like a subscription to the games. It's just about like it's a subscription to the connectivity. But that could be totally unrelated. It could.
I'm gonna look into that for sure because that sounds like hella fun.
Yeah.
Going back and playing those old school games. A glass of wine and some Super Mario
Yes,
Brothers. Okay.
Exactly. I think you just go into the Nintendo store and download it there. For free.
Okay, I'm gonna look into it. God, we're so generous.
Yeah.
Look at us plugging all this shit. You are welcome, all of you. God. Okay, well that's it.
Love it. Thank you, my dear.
Yeah.
Follow us on Facebook if you haven't already. Give us a rating and a review on Apple, on wherever you listen to podcasts. Frankly, we are literally everywhere. If you can find a place that we aren't, we will go into the shadow of the valley of darkness to get there. So let us know if you have any ideas, if you have any topics that you want us to discuss, or if you just want to talk about bullshit. You can DM us on Facebook or send us an email at amateurintellectuals@gmail.com. Did I miss anything?
No, babe. That was perfect.
Okie doke. Well, we're going to wrap this gig up, but we will see you guys soon. 3, 2, 1. Bye.